Welcome to 3MBS, Jack.
Thanks for having me.
Lovely to have you with us. There are many people from Melbourne at the Townsville Festival this year, as there have been in previous years. And what we'd like to do is entice those who have not come up to come up next year.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
42nd, I believe.
Yeah.
Not just a very distinguished violinist, but also you've directed your own festivals in Oxford. So this is not your first time as artistic director.
No, not my first rodeo, as they say. I started a festival back in 2007, I think, in Oxford, and it's just a small operation. Me and a friend run it, and it's music, science and arts festival. So we have science lectures alongside concerts and sometimes exhibitions and all sorts of things like that. And that's something that I'm sort of trying to bring as well to this festival here in Townsville, a little bit more extracurricular aspects to it.
And you've done that very successfully with a physicist and a marine biologist.
Yes. Well, actually, the physicist is the gentleman that I run the Oxford Festival with.
Yes.
So, I'm looking forward to the marine biology lecture later on.
Let's talk a bit about programming. And I noticed that you've got a good mix. You've got the more traditional Baroque and Romantic chamber works, as well as newer works. So some of the very familiar works, composers would be Bach, Vivaldi, Mendelssohn, Franck, Smetana, Elgar, Ravel, Debussy, Korngold. But you've mixed them up with some new works, and you've also done some intriguing things with familiar works. For instance, playing the Lark Ascending with you as on violin, and James Crabb playing accordion.
Yes. James is an incredibly versatile musician, and he's much cheaper than an orchestra. So, so he can do these. Yeah. Actually, we were joking about that earlier. But he does beautiful orchestrations on the accordion with. Of sort of piano reductions, and sometimes from the score as well. So sometimes it's nice to experiment with these things. The audience becomes trusting, and they will sit through something that they maybe wouldn't naturally sit through, or enjoy something a little bit in a different way than they would maybe not enjoy it in another series, because they're sort of trusting the person who's putting it in front of them, that there's a reason why they're listening to this piece.
And indeed, you've put your trust in these pieces because you're performing in many of them.
Yeah, exactly. So I better do a good job, otherwise I'm going to fall on my own petard, as they say.
I was thinking about the amazing jigsaw of putting together a festival, because it's finding the performers, which you've found from all over Australia and elsewhere, and it's finding the right works that create for a good program. And it sounds like the logistics of the London Tube.
It's a nightmare. Yeah, I have what I call my hell spreadsheet, which coming up with the program is one thing, but then when you're playing 130 pieces of music and you've got 35 musicians, the difficult thing is counting. For instance, one of the little things is counting how many pieces each person is playing. Because you don't want one person playing 30 pieces and then someone else playing 3. And so you need to spread it around evenly. And if you were going to do that by hand, for instance, it would be a nightmare to try and look through the program and work it all. So I had to come up with some interesting spreadsheet arithmetic.
I imagine your scientific background might have
I'm more scientific. I'm more interested in science than particularly clever. But I had a friend do the spreadsheet tech for me.
Oh.
But, when it all comes together, and we're here day 6 of the festival, when it all starts to come together, it's really amazing. And I mean, I feel indulged by the fact that it's all happening. And it's like I'm just getting my way all the time. So
it's more than just the concerts, of course, because you have the concert conversations in the mornings. You have the Winterschool masterclasses, and these, of course, are masterclasses with young students who have the privilege of working with some great musicians.
Yeah, and that's an important aspect, and it's something that we're going to build further, because the fact is that a lot of the musicians who fly in or come from different parts of Australia are all professors in their own right as well. So if you're bringing, for instance, 5 top professors from around the world to come and play, you really should get a chance to work with them too if you're a young musician. So that's something that we're going to build even more as well.
Jack, if you were to encourage listeners in Melbourne to come up who might be fearful of COVID and various things, what would you say?
Wear a mask.
Well, and people do.
People do wear. No, I'm joking. Fearful. Well, hopefully by next year anyway, COVID is going to be something that we're more used to, and it will be less of a risky thing. It seems to already be receding a little bit. But the festival is the thing that's special about this festival, I find, is the unique friendliness and link between the musicians and the audience.
Yes.
It's something I've always felt here. Made some great friends amongst the audience, and they're loyal and real. You can feel the audience geeing you along when you're playing. There's a very, very nice feeling, and that's something we're building upon with our festival garden as well, is the space for musicians and audience to mingle and get to know each other. But it's just a wonderful, friendly place. The beautiful weather. I mean, the scenery around the waterfront and Magnetic Island is amazing, and I think get to hear an array of programs that feature from well-known loved works to really unusual things that you can learn about.
Well, Jack Liebeck, it's been absolutely delightful talking with you. Thanks for taking the time out of your very busy schedule with rehearsals and performances and your artistic directorship. Lovely to talk to you.
Thank you.